Welcome to the Uptown Dubai Hotel. Here's everything that I liked and disliked today on Markus Travels. This is the collection room on floor number 40 in this beautiful new skyscraper. The number one thing that I love about this room is the beautiful design. The room is not square, which gives it a lot of character and some interesting design details. The room is sold as a corner room, and I suppose it is a corner room, but merely on a technicality. On my right-hand side, there's a tiny window which faces a different direction than the main window in the room. The storage situation is really good. If I look to my left here, I have storage above the minibar and above the desk, and in the top portion of the wardrobe as well. The wardrobe itself is big, there's a chest of drawers in there, plus to the left of it there is additional luggage storage in a way that I haven't seen before. There's one space where I put my backpack, and there's another space below it where I put my suitcase. That is really well designed. In addition to that, there is even more storage below the TV. For the windows, there's both a blackout curtain and sheer curtains, and both of them can be operated with the buttons on the control panel, or you can just tug on the curtains and that will activate the electric motor. One small downside of this funky room layout is that if you're sitting on the couch here in the corner where I'm actually standing right now, the view of the TV is at a very steep angle. And in fact, even from the bed, you don't get a direct viewing angle of the TV. Even though it's not completely straight on, it is still a comfortable way to watch the TV. The second highlight of this room is the bathroom, and specifically the tub with a view. I tested it last night, and when you're sitting in the tub, you do get a view of the skyline, not just the sky. So somehow that is very well thought out. That tub, by the way, I think you could fit 2 people in there fairly comfortably. It's a big tub. Also, other aspects of the bathroom are really beautifully designed. There is a cohesive theme in there, and it is not just all white. For example, the sink, the double vanity, is this dark marble material. I like it. The third thing that I really liked about this Uptown Dubai is the pool on level number 6. The pool is big enough to actually swim laps, although I don't think it's really designed for that because it does have a swim-up bar and a lot of chilling seats around it. But the fact that you can actually swim laps in a rooftop hotel pool, that is a big, big plus. Another big plus, compared to some of the other hotels where I've stayed in Dubai in the past, is that the pool is open until 10 p.m. That may not sound remarkable out of context, but for example, at Fairmont The Palm, the pool closed at sunset, which at the moment is around 5 p.m. I paid for this trip myself so that you get a non-sponsored and authentic travel review. Welcome to my channel, Markus Travels. We'll talk more about the price and the value for money and my final recommendation at the end of the video. Before we get to the cons that I've identified, I'm going to mention 2 neutral things. The first neutral point is the breakfast. It was nice, it was competent, but there was really nothing that stood out. They labeled that restaurant as a French brasserie, but there wasn't really anything particularly French about it. The second neutral point is the way they use WhatsApp. As soon as I checked in, I got a WhatsApp message linking to my personal travel briefing for this stay, which was nice. But one thing that was unclear was, were they also taking questions on that WhatsApp account? I think this is a topic that they could have clarified. If you're getting value from the video, please hit the like button. Thanks for doing that. And now we come to the 3 negative points of the Uptown Dubai. The first negative point is going to be the location. This hotel is in its own kind of complex. There's this skyscraper in the middle, and then there are some other amenities, restaurants, and a concert venue kind of on this block. It is not pedestrian friendly. Across the road, you have a portion of the Jumeirah Lake Towers area where there's dining and shops. Getting here with public transportation is a challenge. There's a bus stop 10 minutes walk away at that JLT area, and then there is a metro stop about 25 minutes walk away. Getting to that bus stop is not so easy. First, you have to cross 5 lanes of traffic on a curvy road, and then you have to cross another 5 lanes of traffic on a straight through road, and then you have to cross another 2 lanes of traffic to get to the JLT cluster November. So on that basis, this is a hotel for people who either use cars or taxis or Uber, or that they just want to stay here in the hotel complex, and that's not me. The second negative point here in the room design is the location of the control panels. One of them is correctly located by the entrance door there, but the other 2 control panels are right here by the bedside tables, and they are actually hard to reach. Firstly, the pendant lamp, which is hanging above the bedside table, kind of blocks the access to the control panels. The control panels are low down. They're not eye level like the one by the entrance door. They are down, which is difficult to access if you're standing up. You kind of have to kneel to access the control panels. In addition, one of the panels is also blocked by the alarm clock. Once you gain access to the control panels, they do control everything in the room, and it works well. You can control the curtains and the lights with them, as well as do not disturb and the make up my room command can all be activated on the panel. I think the way to improve those panels would be to put them in a more accessible place, maybe at eye level. Another way to improve them would be to make the buttons more tactile. The third con that I've identified in the room is that the water pressure in the shower is rather low. That applies for both the handheld shower and the rainfall shower. The rainfall shower in particular was borderline unusable with a low water pressure. If you're getting massive value from this video, there's many things that you can do to support my channel, Markus Travels. For example, you can book me as a speaker for your next conference or company event. I have this keynote called Leadership Lessons from the Comedy Club, where I share some tips that I learned doing stand-up comedy that you can apply also for corporate communications. Check out markuspresents.com or use the link in the description. Now let's talk about the price and the value for money. I stayed here for one night, and the total price I paid was 1,088 dirham, which is around $300 US. That rate included breakfast, and it also included a free minibar. There's only soft drinks in there, but that was included in the price, which I find nice. In addition, thanks to my Accor Gold status, I got an early check-in already just after noon and a late checkout to 2 p.m. for today. Overall, this is a beautiful hotel with extremely helpful and friendly staff and outstanding amenities. So would I stay here again? Perhaps surprisingly, the answer is no, and it's only due to the location. I want to be in a pedestrian-friendly area, and this just is not that. But I think for a lot of other travelers, the So Uptown Dubai will be a fantastic choice. This is a really well-designed and really well-run hotel. Another classic hotel in Dubai is Fairmont The Palm. Click or tap the screen right here to watch my full review of that iconic hotel. It has a really good reputation, but my experience there was not excellent. So check out that video right now. Thank you for watching Markus Travels, and I will see you in the next video.